Hey everyone, welcome to Kempner Canucks. My name is RevTrev, and I'm so glad you're here because tonight we're going to be talking about the Calgary Flames are crap. And yes, you heard that right. Yes, you saw the thumbnail right. And it's just a fact that this team is absolutely garbage this year. And last year, I had predicted that the Calgary Flames were going to be the third worst team in the NHL. I did not believe in this squad. I didn't think they were going to be any good at all. But then you see how well they played and literally everything aligned. Goaltending, this young talent, this crew came together and were able to do incredible things together. And literally, I was wrong. But I was a year too late, everyone, apparently. And a number of my predictions are a year too late. So tonight we're going to talk about the division rival, Calgary Flames. As you know, I'm a Canucks fan through and through. I love being a part of this team. And but the rivalry is real. And you know that I've been self-proclaimed as the number one Calgary Flames hater. Can't stand this team. I don't like them. I hope they lose. And they are losing. And guess what? It's absolutely glorious. And so we're going to be talking about that tonight. Can't wait to have this conversation with you. And so whether you're watching live and or you're watching later, it's great to have you at Kempner Canucks. So post your stuff in the comments, but we're going to talk about this rivalry. We're going to talk about some things that we like about I like about the Flames, some things that they're doing right there, and what's all going wrong. That's going to be the best part, in my opinion. So there may be some Calgary Flames fans that come in here and you're offended that I am talking about your team like that. That's fine. You don't have to agree with everything I say, but just let you know, to me, there's a rivalry, and I like it. It's alive and well, and I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of your team at all, and I'm loving you guys losing. It's been absolutely wonderful. I feel bad for your fan base who are loyal and faithful, but I love it that they're losing. So we're going to dive into it and hope that you're having a fantastic evening. By the way, everyone, Blue Jays, hello. World Series Game 1. Are you kidding me? 9 runs in the 6th inning. That is absolutely insane. And glad to have that going on as well. If the Blue Jays win the World Series, this is going to be unbelievable and phenomenal and crazy and wonderful. And I'm so excited about what's going on with the Blue Jays right now. And a lot of people say to me, hey, RevTrev, how can you not like the Calgary Flames? Like, honestly, how can you not like the Calgary Flames? They're a Canadian team. It doesn't matter. They're division rivals. That's that. End of story. You guys are in our way to go and try to make the playoffs. And that's it. That's it. And we've had some epic battles. You've had some good teams in the past as well. We'll talk a little bit about that probably as well. Some really great teams, actually. And you might be surprised about some of the nice things I say about the Flames, but overall, can't stand them. So thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you. Let's hit the promo, and we're going to get into the conversation. I forgot to wear the chain. It's so much more fun to stream and do those kind of things. So tonight, as we're talking about the Calgary Flames, let's just get right into it. The Calgary Flames literally are last place in the entire league. This is not just the Pacific. This is last place in the entire league. And some of you are going to go, RevTrev, it's early. What's the problem here? Why are you talking smack to the Calgary Flames? Why are you kicking them while they're down? Well, not only are they last place right now, it's almost impossible for them to make the playoffs. Yeah, you heard that right. Listen, in order with this bad start for the Calgary Flames to make the playoffs, they would have to win at a rate, and that's before the loss tonight, everyone. That's before the loss tonight. They would have to win at a rate of 60%, and that's a Stanley Cup championship caliber team, okay? And that would just get them to where they were last year in the standings. Now, it's even worse now because they lost tonight, and I believe it's to Winnipeg. Is that right? NHL.com. Let me just make sure. I don't want to go to NHLshop.ca.com. Okay. And so the Calgary Flames lost to Winnipeg 5-3 tonight. If they're even in a worse spot. So they didn't make the playoffs last year at that point. Even if they go from a 60% winning rate, which is just an insanely good winning rate, you're going to be able to sit there and go, you're dead last right now. I'm just saying, I'm not saying you're going to get dead last for the whole season, which you might. But what I'm saying is you're not making the playoffs. And we're not even through October, everyone. Halloween hasn't hit yet. American Thanksgiving. And so there's going to be people out there that's going to say, and I've had some friends say this, they say, hey, remember St. Louis was dead last in January, and not only did they make the playoffs, they won the Stanley Cup. So you're saying there's a chance. Listen, guys, in the entire NHL, one team's done that. One team in all the years. I'm telling you right now, I do not think the Calgary Flames are going to be that team. They're not going to be the next St. Louis Blues. With this roster, are you kidding me? With the injuries that they're already walking through? Now, let's talk about this team a little bit in more depth, okay? There are some things that I like about them. So they're already in tank mode, and I forgot to post the picture. I'll download it as we're talking here. But as you can see, guys, they have 3 points. They have 1 win, 7 losses, guys. This is insane. This is absolutely insane what they're actually in. It's nuts to see where they're at. And there are a couple bright spots. No word of a lie. Okay? No word of a lie. But there's also a lot of gaping holes and a lot of awful things. And so I just got a couple things I'm just downloading now about this team. Okay, now let me explain to you some of the things that I appreciate. Now, actually, wait a minute. Let's just keep kicking them while they're down. Minus 18. Guys, they have only scored 16 goals. They've had 34 goals against, and their winning percentage is .167. That's insane. They've lost all the games at home. They won 1 game on the road. That was against Edmonton. And it's crazy to think about, everyone. Crazy to think about. I don't know why it says only a 1-game losing streak here. Oh, because they tied. That's why. They just recently tied. They were on a 6-game losing streak. It's just glorious. It's absolutely glorious to see this. And then if you just go to the conference, and we're going here to this is unbelievable. The Western Conference, Colorado's got 13 points. You got 3. My Canucks, we're struggling, and we got 8. So we're going to talk a little bit about the comparison of the Canucks and the Calgary Flames, but just a reminder, everyone, maybe this is the best thing for Calgary. Because if you think about it, this roster and team is young. It's got some things that are going on, but tanking right now is actually a good thing because this is the draft for McKenna. And maybe, just maybe, this is what they're trying to do. Maybe this is the year. If you're going to tank, if you're going to be bad, McKenna. Gavin McKenna is looks like a world-class player. And so if you had a chance to go back and get, McDavid or Draisaitl or Kucherov or whoever, and you're just tanking for these things. But we know that just because you come dead last doesn't mean you win the draft lottery. It doesn't mean that even in a first pick overall, that first pick will pan out. Look at Lafreniere, okay, for the New York Rangers. Look at Yakupov for the Edmonton Oilers. There's a whole bunch of players that just haven't panned out, haven't become what they were supposed to be, right? And so when you're looking at this, it's about for this team to rebuild. And some Canuck fans have been calling for it for a lot of years, and maybe that's not a bad idea. But what the management doesn't want to do, and I think Calgary's management's at that stage where they're sitting there and they're going, hey, we need to rebuild this roster the right way. When Johnny Gaudreau just walked and they got nothing for him, that hurt. If that happened to any team, that would hurt. If you think about Tkachuk wants out and they're like, hey, we're going to trade him. And in theory, it sounded like they got a haul back. Kadri, Huberdeau, no, not Kadri. They allowed them to get Kadri because they had some cap space with the two subtractions there. But they got Huberdeau, Weegar in that deal. Weegar's fantastic. Huberdeau has been a complete bust. 100-point player for the Florida Panthers and has been a dud, has been an absolute dud in Calgary. And it just hurts. And you know what? As fans, I'm loving every minute of it. Now, Gino Hard posted this and used Dustin Wolf. He's calling out his team as they lose 7 straight games while only scoring 9 goals in that span, which is awful. Canuck fans were losing their minds because we just scored 2 goals, 1 goal in each 2 games. So it's like we're nervous too, right? Because we've sustained some decent injuries. But like this is way worse, right? And Wolf says, I can't generate offense. It's like I can't do it all. Dustin Wolf, in my opinion, is a world-class goaltender. He's an elite goaltender. He's a top 10 goaltender for sure. If not, he's probably around that top 5 to 7 range right now as a young guy. And I think that's great that they're going to rebuild this team around him. And I like players like Zari, and I do like Kadri, even though his age 35, he's dangerous. He's good. But you just don't have enough pieces. And it's just at that stage, you just need one of those guys. So Gavin McKenna is one of those guys that I think can change the course of the whole trajectory. Now, some people say, hey, listen, if you go get Bedard to Celebrini, and some people say, well, are they going to even pan out? We don't know. The time's going to tell. I think those 2 kids are legit. But when you're talking about McDavid, like look at Austin Matthews. I think he's a phenomenal player, but he has not lived up to the hype, everyone. He has not carried this team on his back. They've won, I think, one playoff round since he's gotten there. Like, it's just not good. So one player's not going to do it. It's a team. You got to have a team around you. McDavid knows that. They're close, but no cigars. Okay. And that's where we're at. So the Calgary Flames, I can't stand this team. But in the past, as you know, and by the way, speaking of the past, 1994-95 was my favorite goal of all time. Pavel Bure scoring in Game 7. There's a picture of Thurin Fleury trying to score on Kirk McLean. Denied. Okay, so you guys had some great teams. I think that team, if the Edmonton Oilers didn't have a dynasty, I think the Calgary Flames would have had a dynasty and you would have more than one cup. And that's what people come into my comments and they say, you know what? You Canuck fans are just jealous because we have a cup and you don't. You're not even on our level. And I get it. It's a fair point. Good job saying that. But can I just be honest with you? 1989 was when you won your last one, I believe. Most of your fan base isn't alive in 1989. Like, think about that for a minute. I remember watching Calgary Flames win the Stanley Cup, but this idea is like, oh, we're so much better. It's like saying, I mean, Montreal has a trump card. I mean, what do they have? 23, 24 Stanley Cups. And it's like, well, original 6, and it doesn't, I mean, they all count. They all count. I get it. Calgary's counts. Vancouver's never won. I get it. It's fine. If someone's going to come into my comments all upset that I'm mad, I'm hating on the Calgary Flames. Yeah, you guys are dead last right now. Last. Now, people are going to say to you, RevTrev, or say to me, RevTrev, they're going to say, hey, Calgary and Vancouver aren't that much different, bro. You should be careful what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, but we're not the same. Because I don't think this organization is ever going to go to a full rebuild, because a full rebuild could take 8 to 12 years. This isn't just a slow process. It's tough. It's tough to do it. It's really tough to do it. To rebuild you could rebuild. It takes a long time to rebuild. Canucks organization is not into that. We've got players that want to win now with Demko, Hughes. Pedersen is supposed to be that signing. I mean, he has not panned out. Is he the next Huberdeau? Is he the next handcuffed? That's a possibility. I think Pedersen's better than Huberdeau. They're different kind of players for sure. But listen, at the end of the day, this team that we have, this team is built because they want to make the playoffs. Are they a contender yet? No. But we're on our way. My prediction is we're going to make the playoffs this year. And then next year, we're going to have some additions, and then we're going to try to contend. If we lose Quinn Hughes, everyone, we're going to be a year behind Calgary in deciding to rebuild this roster. If we lose Quinn Hughes, we're in big caca. Calgary Flames are just ahead of us in that way. They're deciding we're going full tank mode. Even maybe you're a full tank mode, and it's not even that. It's not even that. It's like you don't even have a choice. That's how. Oh, my internet's slowing down here. It's not liking this Calgary Flames hate. So we'll talk. We'll talk. Okay, so I want to dive into some comments from some people here. I'm excited about this conversation we're going to have, but I do want to give out a shout out to someone. You know what? There are so many faithful Calgary Flames fans, and God bless you, because a lot of people would have jumped ship by now, and good on you. And I think Canucks fans are faithful too, and that's pretty cool. But Flames Nation guys, I think those guys are some of the best podcasters, best hockey guys in all of Canada. I love watching their content. I think they are fantastic. They're in my top 3 favorite hockey podcasters. They're funny. They're intelligent. They know what they're talking about with this team and the league. And I like listening to their takes on not only on the Calgary Flames, but especially on other teams like Vancouver Canucks. And it's just interesting. I think those guys are phenomenal. Okay. So yeah. Anyways, let's dive into some comments before my internet. I've just got new internet coming hopefully tomorrow. So that's going to be great. Okay. So Rod is here and says they're going to get McKenna, bro. They might. Green is here and he's saying, let's get Kadri. Kadri's 35, $7 million a year. I think he has 3 or 4 years left on his contract. I like him. I think he's dangerous. I think he's really good. I think he's really gritty. I think he's what the Canucks might need at the center position there, but we'll see. I like him. I wouldn't like the price, what it costs to get him. If we're talking a draft pick, that's not a first rounder for next year, we can talk, but they have to retain salary, and I don't think they're going to do that. But Rod says the Blue Jays destroyed the Dodgers. What a night. That was awesome. And says, Monty says, you got a like with that thumbnail. Green says, division rival. You meant division ridicule, right? Exactly. Kevin's in the building. Kevin K, I would prefer that we were rebuilding right now. I'm not with you there, but I know a lot of Canuck fans are with you. Flames should be relegated to the AHL. Woo! Those are fighting words, Monty. Okay. Canucks feel like we already are AHL. Well, yeah, we got a lot of AHL guys in our roster as well. I mean, even the trade we made today for Lucas Reichel is a step in the right direction in the way of it's a 23-year-old. He has not panned out in Calgary. It's a low-risk move. So I like that trade for us. That's the difference between Calgary and Vancouver. We try to make this team better. They did nothing in the off season. That's why they're struggling. They didn't try. I don't think they made any improvements to that roster. And there's a lot. Why do all these players not want to play there anymore? You got Rasmus Anderson doesn't want to play there. You have got Gaudreau who walked. You had Tkachuk that walked. I mean, that is devastating to any franchise. But what is the real reason, right? What is the real reason? So, yeah, I mean, we'll see. Flames are going to be like Canadiens in 2 to 3 years when they have a new rink. The rink changes the team. I don't know. I think players will want to go there once they get a new rink. I agree. I think Saddledome is like the worst or second worst stadium in the NHL right now. And they're planning, once they build that new stadium, it's going to be awesome. Japan forces, if we go on a downhill in next 10 games, I think we got to tank for McKenna. Maybe Vancouver and Calgary are the two teams that are going to tank. And you can't tank in a lottery. There's no guarantees. That's right. No guarantees. Blue Jays are fire. Calgary is one of our best rivals, also Chicago. But most noobs would not know that. Yeah, I mean, Oilers are a rivalry for us. Kraken, not so much. Kind of surprising. They're so close. Only playoff game I went to was in 2009 versus Chicago. Canucks got rocked. That was when that rivalry was big time. Yeah. Calgary is going to the Saddle Dome. Calgary is going to the Saddle Dome watching a huge new rink beside it being built. Yeah, that must be exciting for their fan base. Calgary is bad from the game I seen them playing the Canucks. Yep. Yeah, we destroyed them. It was so fun watching that game. Maybe Calgary will make the playoffs if they grow Lanny McDonald mustaches. Monty Rutu versus Dion Phaneuf. Look it up. Best fight attempt ever. Sums up Calgary's season perfectly. Yeah, there's been a lot of rivalry there, right? Pryway, Sharangovich, or Kadri for cheap if you can. That'd be good. Green. Sharangovich. Calgary will once again be our biggest rival in the Pacific when Edmonton is old and gray. Probably. Other than Kadri, who can we get for cheap? I have no idea. I mean, think about it. If you think about it, we went and got Zadorov from them. Thank you. He played great for us. Lindholm, you got a haul for Lindholm from us. I thought it was a good trade if we would have kept him, but he produced in the playoffs. So, I mean, they had him as a rental, unfortunately. So we kind of been building Calgary a little bit. But San Jose, Anaheim, Chicago are farther into complete rebuild before Calgary and Montreal. We are toast. I don't think we're toast. I don't know. I think a little doom and gloom. What do the Calgary Flames and the Titanic have in common? Both look good until they hit the ice. Can we go for Zaka? There's lots of rumors that we're interested. It's much younger and cheaper than Kadri. Yep, I agree with that. Way cheaper. The Stars have already aligned and decided that McKenna is rightfully the successor to Crosby. He's going to Pittsburgh 100%. Place your bets, guaranteed money. Wow, that's a bold prediction. Why do the Calgary Flames look like a high school dropout? Both have no prospects and no goals. Oh, I have a feeling that I could see so many here, Monty. Panthers dumped Huberdeau like we should have dumped Petey. I know, man. He doesn't look good right now. Flames need Tocchet. They have no stars, so he can't ruin anybody there. Monty says, what's the difference between the Calgary Flames and a mosquito? Mosquitoes eventually stop sucking. How many Calgary Flames players does it take to change a tire? One, unless it's a blowout. Then the whole team shows up. I love it. I love it. Vancouver Canucks have as many cups as McDavid. That's true. Good point, Green. I think Calgary is still the biggest rival over the years compared to the Edmonton over the last 2 years. I mean, we played them in the playoffs 2 years ago, so that kind of renewed the rivalry for me. I would think, yeah. But anyways, Monty, what do you call 23 millionaires watching the Stanley Cup playoffs? The Calgary Flames. Ooh, that's a good one. I like that one too. You have so many good ones. Montreal's rebuild is only 3 years in. Look at them now and tomorrow. Let's be fair. Yeah, I think Montreal's going to win tomorrow. I don't think the Vancouver Canucks are going to win. But I hope Reichel plays. I'm excited to watch this kid, and maybe he needs a change of scenery, and maybe it'll be great. So we'll see. But I don't think, by the way, Montreal's rebuild didn't only take 3 years. It's not 3 years. How long have they had Caulfield? And it's not been 3 years. Green says, we will trade for another center within the next month. Then Hedel can move to 3C when healthy. Hearing maybe Wenberg. I've been hearing Wenberg, but in my opinion, he does not move the needle. Does not move the needle. Okay, David W. Flames lost in rather ugly fashion to the Jets on Friday, but those Flames, for the first game since game 2 of this regular season, scored multiple goals. Interesting. I like watching various clips from Flames Nation Street. Oh, yeah, those guys are incredible. Like, incredible. Roy says, I thank God for the 2025 Flames. Roy does not want Kadri. Okay. Among teams in a win now mode among Canadian ones, I count the Canucks, Oilers, Jets, Leafs, Sens with all the among teams. So, yeah. So basically, it's everyone but Calgary. Was that what you're saying here? CMAP says not a Flames fan by any stretch, but I do feel bad for the ex-Kelowna Rockets in Backlund, Kirkland, and Hushka. Oh, yeah. That's fair. That's fair. Kadri wouldn't cost a thing unless they retained. But yes, better options are out there most likely. Sean is in the building. Too many procrastinators that think the final standings will be carbon copy of last year. Some thought Canucks and Flames would duke it out for fourth. We were there. Flames are this year's Sharks. Good point. Good point, Sean. Sorry, I didn't mean to butcher your comment there. I try to read too fast sometimes, and that's the thing. So David W. says rebuilds are a last resort when it comes to relegation, I think, of various European soccer leagues. But okay. So it was just a comment by someone saying that, okay? Roy says, I blame all the Canuck woes on missing practice facility. Yeah, the missing practice facility. That's right. Flames may very well end up similarly to the 2021, 2022 Habs. Come on, man. Lucas isn't from Calgary. He's coming from Chicago. Yeah, Lucas Reichel is coming from Chicago. Did I say Calgary? I didn't mean that if I did. Picking first in any given entry draft of a major sport can give an amazing pick, but there's no guarantee. Just ask the Raptors with their pick of, I know. The Raptors have been, but different sport, right? So, but yeah. Rick Dollywell said they're pushing for Zaka from Boston. Okay. Why would Boston trade Zaka? He's having a good year. He's their second line center. Why would they do that? I mean, it'd be awful. Okay. The Habs so far this month have become a true rival to the Sens and Leafs. Yeah, they look way better. The Habs look way better. Zachary, or you mean Zari would be decent, or Zachary or Zari? Zaka. Oh, Zaka would be decent. Yeah. Well, what would he cost, right? So pretty much all Canadian teams but the Flames are in a win now mode. The Habs to maybe a lesser degree, but still, like the Sens, pressure to qualify for the 2026 postseason. Mammoth are mammoth like this year. Edmonton won't make the playoffs, or LA. You don't think the LA Kings or the Edmonton Oilers are not going to make the playoffs? I mean, I think it's kind of early to say, but we'll see. What do a Crab and the Calgary Flames have in common? Both are on the bottom of the Pacific. Facts. Absolute facts, bro. Facts. So true. So true. Okay. Green is out. Good to see you. Go Canucks, go. Go Blue Jays. Mark is in the building. Good evening. I loved last year that almost all Canadian teams made the playoffs or had a chance. This year, I don't care. Just want Canucks to make the door and then Cinderella. Yeah, that's awesome. Canucks game vlogger, Flames at the bottom. You love to see it. I do. You do. Lots of people in here that do. This is fantastic. Okay. So if we just sidestep back to that Reichel deal, it's a low risk deal for the Vancouver Canucks with the Chicago Blackhawks. I mean, a fourth rounder. Think about it for a second, everyone. We're just going to quickly sidetrack here for a minute. But when you think about this roster, this team, and you're adding a 23-year-old first round pick, right? Like what year was that? So this is insane. Now he's been a bust, okay? Obviously. Why is Chicago getting rid of him? Okay. So he gets drafted first round, 17th overall in the 2020 entry draft. Okay. And if you go to that draft, and I'm going to bring this up right now. I'm going to close this one off, and I'm going to bring this one up. This is interesting stuff, in my opinion. Okay. So we're talking, okay, this is the Lafreniere draft. Okay. This is the Jack Hughes draft. So number one overall, and can you see that well? It's kind of small, but I'll read it to you, okay? I'll read it to you. So you've got Lafreniere. Quentin Byfield goes number 2 to the Kings. Rangers thought they hit the lottery, everyone. Look at 196 points for his career Lafreniere had. Byfield was second. Stutzel was third to Ottawa. He's been fantastic. Lucas Raymond went fourth. Jake Sanderson for the Ottawa Senators, who a lot of people think he's going to have a fantastic year. Jamie Drysdale went sixth to the Ducks. Now is on the Philadelphia Flyers. Then you got Alexander Holtz. I've not seen much of him. I don't think he's done much of anything. Oh, this is NHL scoring, 196 for Lafreniere. He was not the best. Stutzel is the best player so far that was drafted. Crazy to think about. Raymond has had a pretty decent career. Number 13, Jarvis, 224 in his career. That's pretty good. Okay, so let's keep going down. So Jack Quinn. Oh, I thought I was like Quinn Hughes. It's not the same guy. Jack Quinn hasn't panned out. Marco Rossi now is coming to his own for Minnesota. This is a pretty good draft here. Perfetti, Cole Perfetti, he's there. He still plays with the Jets. Askarov, I like him a lot. Nashville picked him up. Now he's with San Jose. Lundell's won a couple Stanley Cups with the Florida Panthers. Jarvis has been a stud for Carolina. Holloway, I can't believe Edmonton let him go. Solid guy. I wouldn't say he's top 15 talent, but third line, great guy there. And then Reichel, 17th for Chicago. Mercer went 18. Wow, that's a great. Braden Schneider for the Rangers. Did the Canucks draft? They must have traded away their pick this year. Yeah, that stinks. But they traded their draft pick so much. This is when they shouldn't have been doing that. They didn't even have a second rounder in this one either. That's terrible. Jake Neighbors, Zari goes 24th. Yeah, there's some good players in this draft, everyone. So what if Lucas Reichel needs just a change of scenery? That would be fantastic. Okay. And side note, Calgary Flames reference, Lucas Reichel is the nephew to Robert Reichel, who got stoned against Kirk McLean in Game 7, stacked the pads, 3-on-1. Kirk McLean stacks the pads. Lucas Reichel's nephew is now a Vancouver Canuck. Think about that. Full circle. Lefty, Reichel has 2 goals, 2 assists in 5 games with Chicago, and they still trade him for a 4th-round pick. Something smells fishy about this one. Yep. You know what? He has the same points as Pettersson, and Pettersson's played 8 games. Ugh, that's bad. Okay. Mark says, our new assistant coach has all good things to say about him. Yeah, well, I mean, they have to. It's kind of like they got to toe the company line, but hopefully he's good. Maybe he's a coaster on the defensive part of the game. He is. They say that he is not good defensively. David W. says, by contrast, I predict the Oilers, Jets, and Leafs would all finish top 3 in their respective divisions, but so far the Jets are top 3 and in the Central, while the Oilers are a wild card team and the Leafs are 5th in the Atlantic. The Sens, Bruins, Bolts below them. By the way, Bolts are terrible right now with the Leafs ahead of the Sens due to wins outside of shootouts. The major generals here. Calgary is with the major L. Dell's in the building. Grogu says season is over. I think he's right. I don't think the season's over for Vancouver, but for Calgary, absolutely. And I really hope they don't get, like, think about what would be the perfect thing. Calgary comes last, doesn't get McKenna. That's a true hater comment right there. Kevin, I think Reichel should go straight to Abbey and play center and have Malhotra make him a face-off guy, like Manny did with Horvat. After Horvat rookie year, Manny was hired to coach face-offs. Hey, that's good. I don't think they're going to do that. It's too much pressure for them right now. We have too many centers that cannot win face-offs. Petey keeps wasting 30 seconds of power play, and our entry sucks after. Yeah, it's true. You're not wrong. Marcus, they were saying Lucas Reichel got moved too much in Chicago. Too much? What does that mean? They're saying Lucas Reichel got moved too much. I know Blackhawk fans are really mad. Where's our friend Gravely? I want to hear his take. What does he think about that Reichel move? Had no idea about the full circle. Isn't that epic? Robert Reichel, Lucas Reichel, related. Coach Rob Willie's in the building. Good to see you. CMAP, would 2020 have been the draft pick the Canucks would have gave up in the JT Miller trade? That's a good question. JT Miller traded to the Canucks. For a 2019 third-round pick and a conditional 2020 first-round pick. Yeah, I think that's it. We got JT Miller instead. The Habs are going into the 2022 entry draft, had only a bit over 25% odds of seeing their first pick of that draft go first overall. I really hope that 2026 NHL draft will see a team outside the original 6th pick first overall. The Rangers, Habs, and Blackhawks just in the 2020s have picked first and at least one of each draft. Oh, interesting. Roy, is there any way we could structure a trade with Calgary where we get their first pick for next year? No, they're not dumb. They're not dumb. I might not like them, but they're not dumb. So anyways, everyone, 40 minutes together. Love this conversation, but Dell's not happy with our roster either. Canucks management will trade futures just to say mediocre. Woo! Mark says Jay's game was awesome tonight. Go Jays, go! We want it all. Oh man, if we win again, it's going to be awesome. going to be awesome. Thanks, everyone, for showing up tonight. Appreciate you. That was just a fun video to make. Hope you have a fantastic night. I'll be live streaming tomorrow night after the Montreal-Vancouver game. I'm predicting we're going to lose. I'm hoping we win. I'm going to be cheering for us to win. And I hope Reichel plays for us. That would be fantastic. Thanks so much for being here. I don't like Calgary. Believe in blue. Believe in this Canucks team. Free the skate. And go Canucks go.